line, though.
And Ruby, what about the Hawks? Stratton, Stevenson and Elliott in, and 3 players were admitted after they were taught a football lesson by the mighty Adelaide Crows last week.
Well, Stratton and Stevenson for their first games of the season, which is very exciting. Stratton will give them that pace up there, but they do. I mean, to learn, you've got to play against the best, and that's what the Crows are at the moment. So it was an exciting opportunity for them. So we'll see how they can go today.
Well, today is the inaugural Spuds game in the AFLW in honour of footy legend Danny Frawley, and it is all about raising funds and awareness for mental health.
Today's match will be delayed by 2 minutes as we spotlight mental health on the AFLW stage for the very first time. We're honoured to have AFL journalist and presenter Nat Edwards with us to help deliver this important message. Please turn your attention to the big screen.
We're very good at promoting the reactive side of it compared to getting on the front foot and being proactive.
This is a guy who was larger than life for so many of us at the club. He was our captain, but he was more than a captain. We just saw a tower of strength.
He'd challenge you, he'd put an arm around you when you needed one. It shouldn't have taken what happened to Danny for us to start talking and starting conversations like that. Just got to keep getting on the front foot.
No matter how happy, confident, put together, successful you may think your mates are, there could be something going on that you don't know about behind closed doors, because that was certainly what was happening at our house. I wake up every morning and I'm so passionate and excited to get to work, to be able to help steer his vision here at the centre.
There wouldn't be anyone that would not know someone that has not been affected in some way through mental health.
That's my mission in life. I want to make a change, so I don't see others go through what I've done.
And excited to get to work, to be able to help steer his vision.
There wouldn't be anyone that would not know someone.
Our game has always had this incredible ability to bring everyone together. That's what I love about footy. So whether it's on the field or in the stands, we're here for each other. And when it comes to mental health, it's the same. 75% of mental health problems occur before the age of 25. That was true for me, and it's a figure that is way too high. But together as a community, we do have the power to change it. We can make a difference. And it doesn't take much. If you're here with a friend or family member, ask them if they're okay. Let them know you're here for them. And if you are struggling, just know that you are not alone. As we look around this place, look at where we are. Spud absolutely loved this place, and he would be so proud of the legacy he's left and the work being done at the Danny Frawley Centre. And all that work isn't possible without the support of our community. So talk, donate, do. Look after each other, love each other, tell your loved ones that you love them. We don't do that enough, because together we can make a change for the better.
It's a powerful image, and they were powerful words spoken by Nat Edwards. Well done to Nat as the Danny Frawley Centre. You can see the sign splashed up on the new grandstand, which is 3/4 full half here this afternoon. Always a great atmosphere to come to Moorabbin.
Well, it's the old beauty of the old school footy, isn't it? The suburban grounds, and they've done a great job with this renovation here at RSEA Park. It's a magnificent surface, great facility for all the players, the men's and the women's programs, but also the Danny Frawley Centre, which is a ripper as well.
All right, our Amy reliable player as we head into this week 4 clash is Serene Watson, the defender from the Saints. What have you liked about her?
Yeah, I think she's the beneficiary of what we were talking about before. before, with post trudging coming in, Nick Stevens going back, Rubes, that the key post roles haven't necessarily gone to Serene, so she's been able to expand her game a bit, and offensively as well as defensively.
Absolutely, and we see the game that she had against Essendon, 22 disposals, 9 intercept possessions, 451 metres gained, so she is really driving that St Kilda ball movement out of the back half, but a lot of that stems from having a really organised defensive unit, which is exactly what St Kilda are working with at the moment.
So Wales is going to square off here with Fiedler playing just her second AFLW game. She gave it straight down the throat of Lambert. Vesely's tackled. Smith back to Kelly. Grace Kelly starting on the wing. Richards couldn't control it. Bede battles through. Richardson took a while to pick it up. Reed on all fours. And there'll be, no, flicks out the side, Bates in a tussle with Lambert playing her 75th game. Good take from Vesely, and then just grubbers the kick forward. Ashmore started on the wing next to Grace Kelly. It's the first clearing kick away. And the mark has been taken for the Hawks by Stone.
One of their priority selections last year, Stone. Finding her feet at the level, a couple of games now.
Kemp looking for Smith. It'll be fascinating to see how they start here. 3 omissions last week. Daniel Webster, the Hawks coach, swinging the axe after they started with 2 big wins and then came up against the mighty Adelaide Crows, and they sort of came back to earth with a third half, didn't they? They were taught an official AFLW lesson.
Yeah, you see Jamie Lambert getting involved physically early with that press on Everest. You're right, but that's going to happen with this group of Hawks. They're emerging, and I think it's a terrific list to be working with, but they're a long way from the finished product, and Dan Webster would have got a heap out of that loss to the Crows last week, I reckon, from a coaching perspective.
Smith curling it around the body up towards Lucas Rod and Exon. And on the boundary for us this afternoon, she did the hard yards last night at Whitten Oval with the teeming rain that was coming in sideways. But we've turned on a beauty for you this afternoon, Lauren Wood.
Oh, Kelly, this feels like tropical paradise compared to Whitten Oval last night. It couldn't be better down here at the moment, nice and dry. I actually wondered whether my bomb radar might be broken because there's actually nothing on it at the moment. We've got a little bit of a westerly going across the ground, sitting on about 15 degrees. So should be a nice afternoon for what should be a cracking game.
And of course, a huge day coming your way all live on Fox Footy. The weather is clear in Melbourne. That is the good news, although there is cloud above. And it's quite still, which means the men's blockbuster, the second preliminary final, the Cats hosting the Lions for later this afternoon. We will go to that, of course, straight after this game. This one should be a beauty. 2 of the most improved teams in the comp. Out of their first 6 games, they've just had 1 loss, and that was against the Crows for the Hawks last week. Saints are going to go inside 50 here. If they can, Molly McDonald can get herself out of a pickle, but she can't.
Just overusing the footy a little there, St Kilda, but you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get speed on the ball and really attack that last line, give Jessie Wardlaw a crack.
Gilroy, gee, she's got a thumping kick on her. Ruby saw that firsthand again at Vic Park a couple of weeks ago, and then the Irish woman's going to jump on it. She could go for home, instead she handballs it over. Oh, what a brilliant smother that was, and then it's suckered through by McDonough. No, it's not.
Now, this is where Hawthorn can be really dangerous. Their forwards get so high off the back of the stoppage, but their foot speed is incredible. It was a great last line smother there.
Yeah, from Grace Kelly. Hit well, got the handball.
That's an offside winger, defensive running from Grace Kelly. That's magnificent from her.
Well, it's one thing the Kellys can do. Neve and Grace, both sisters, of course, and they can absolutely run.
Wales spots Breed in a little bit of space.
Kinsey Early starting forward for the Hawks.
Okay.
Drafted as a defender. Went back late in the game against Adelaide. Well, sorry, went forward late in the game against
And
Adelaide.
she is the target, and then trying to curl it around the corner. Right across the face. Does it stay in here? It does. Well done. Stone back on her right. Another good smother by Grace Kelly.
Couple of brilliant defensive efforts there. That was Anya McDonough's shot on goal that just drifted across the face, but she's really dangerous. 1 goal 3 last week, Anya McDonough, so she's someone that the Saints defenders are going to have to pay attention to.
Back Back in play. Eardley in the right, top of the goal square. A couple of Hawks almost overrun it. Bates tries to fire it out. She can't.
The Saints providing a lot of room for the Hawks inside their forward 50 just to get front position, get first access to the footy here. They want to sort that out pretty quick. They'll get scored against.
Eardley up over the top. Watson with the relieving kick. Richards sat underneath it. Umpire's blown his whistle, said it's a hold and it's a free kick to the Saints to Richards. She wants to go. She sees something wide she likes. That's Exxon. That Exxon playing her 50th game and it's been picked off by Breed. One of the most exciting players in the competition. Little sidestep. Bangs it long. Can they get a contested mark here? McDonald was the target. Under the pump, Watson. Picked up by Trudgeon. And it'll be the last touch rule. So it's going to come back. The Hawks have got it. Lucas Rod. Brilliant across half-back in the first 3 games. That kick lets her teammates down. Watson. McDonald. Down the line. Bouncing ball. Hawks with the numbers. Swatted down in Smith's direction. Comes back on. Waiting for it was Tilly Lucas Rod and closing quickly was Exxon. She gets it over the top. Here's a chance through Karras. Loping along. A high ball and it's all yellow and gold and brown.
A lot of Hawthorn numbers streaming back there. There was nothing really for St Kilda to go to once they were inside forward 50. It was basically a 4v1 inside 50.
Good matchup in this wing. Ashmore and Grace Kelly. Both can cover the ground beautifully.
Ashmore's delivery was good. It just bounced off the chest of Eardley in the end and she's been pinged for holding the ball. Lambert got her, the veteran.
Loves that scenario.
Former teammate of yours, Ruby, with the milestone today.
Absolutely, and not surprised how she started this game. She's very physical and really sets the tone for her side with those defensive efforts. We saw a big bump on the ball carrier on the far wing, and that effort there as well just lifts the side.
Lucy Wales in the right place at the right time to take the defensive mark. Lucas Rod racking up the possessions already to Bodie, who started on the other wing.
I like that. I like the opportunity to get Greta into the game early. Oftentimes she can find herself on the desert island of the forward flank or the forward pocket.
Back to Richardson, who's been a real leader for the Hawks. Down back. Fleming tried to get rid of her opponent. Does well. Interesting little battle there with Smith. And then West flicks it out wide to Bodie. Wants to run and go.
Trudgeon caught on the mark. She's taken McDonough. McDonough's got Alice Burke as an opponent at the moment. It's a good matchup for the Hawks and find it 1-on-1 inside forward 50.
2 Brisbane Lions premiership stars combined. Bates, the captain. Over the head of Gilroy. Doesn't get the kind bounce. McDonald sidesteps or Stratton bearing down. Puts Lambert under the pump. Good spoil from behind. Lambert goes second effort. Umpire doesn't blow his whistle, so it's play on. Little feed out to Fleming. From 50. Kick was smothered. Lands in the lap of Alice Burke. There's a couple of famous father-daughter names. Different sports, but Burke and Fleming. Having to go back to Karras because of the pressure. Asking a lot of Ward. Oh, Jessie. She's got all the tricks. Oh, and almost running her down was Bodie, her former Brisbane Lions teammate. Comes out to Richards in the pocket. It's going to be a tough shot from there. And she misses to the near side.
Fiedler took that mark inside the square. Roofs in second game of footy. Lack of experience. All the numbers were back trying to support, so they had no numbers for the ball. Just played on off the mark and found herself under pressure on the back of it.
That's it. Just needed to give herself a second, which, like you said, second game of footy. I guess the speed and the pressure of the game can get you a little, particularly early on when you're feeling it out.
One-hander by Wardlaw against Emily Everest. Oh, well done, Guttridge. Back to Jacobson. High ball, asking someone to run and lead. Fiedler had position A and the umpire says it's a free kick to Fiedler. Emily Fiedler made her debut last week. Incredible story, grew up in Malaysia, was a volleyball player, dad's from Perth. Came to Perth to Felicity started playing Aussie rules football, and that kick will win her plenty of Saints fans because she's hit up the key forward, the superstar in Jessie Wardlaw.
Which is a hard matchup. It's pretty difficult when you've got the task on Jessie Wardlaw. We see how damaging she is on top of the 50 when she gets outside and hits up with the footy, and how lethal she is when she rolls around. But it's actually her work close to goal as well, which is the most daunting to try and stop.
Premiership player with the Lions. 3-3 for the season so far to go ahead of the ledger. Jessie's got the opener.
Well, largely against the run of play, the Hawks have, I think, have dominated the game. Not dominated, they've got the upper hand in the game so far. As you see, the lead pattern, the Chemist Warehouse replay for Wardlaw to get to space. Just the kick-off line from Fiedler. Just didn't go straight to goal, and then just getting it off the angle just a little bit created that space for Wardlaw to work into, and that was beautifully finished by Jessie, who's not... well, certainly very, very familiar with that situation. So great start for the Saints. They are kicking. I'm on ponytail watch, Rubes. They are kicking with the breeze a little bit that's here at RSEA Park today.
Loz Wood would have learnt from last night. Hair's in a tight bun with the wind.
There's that much hairspray in that thing she's got going today. It's not going anywhere, Lauren Wood's here.
Free kick in the ruck. The Saints have got it again. Lambert. It'll be a bouncing ball. Who can get this first? Wardlaw charges out. Can she catch Williamson? She did, but Williamson got her kick away. And then it's flicked over by Gilroy. Gee, Gilroy kicked a couple of bombs against you the other week, Ruby.
Yeah, thanks, Kel. No, she's been really impressive. She had a quiet one last week against the Crows, but the way to get Gilroy into the game is actually put her up in the stoppage. She's incredible when she works up, and the speed that she's able to work back in as well.
Oh, Watson, and then a contested mark by Wardlaw. Dubs it out into space. Exxon had to get on her bike. Well done. Had him to stand her ground. There was Bates. She is courage personified. And she's able to knuckle it over the line.
I don't mind the concept there from Jessie with that little hit-up kick, trying to find someone. But if she's 1-on-2 against, find the 1-on-1 and give that a go coming up with the footy. But otherwise, you are going to find yourself in those situations where it's going to come out of your D50 pretty quickly. And you just waste that territory that you've gained.
Fabulous vibe here at Moorabbin. As T. Smith curls it back. It sits for the other Smith playing out there today, Tam Smith, who's tackled by Wardlaw, and Jessie's just got a sniff, hasn't she? She's dialed in for this one. And when Jessie's dialed in the AFLW, it's worth the fans hanging over the fence.
She's in everything at the moment, isn't she?
Holding in the ruck again, is it? Oh, play on advantage. Lambert, with all the experience in the world, hits the post.
Well, I tell you what, Jamie Lambert has been sniffing for a goal about 3 or 4 times already in the Saints forward line. You can see she wants to do that wrap around, and she started the game very well, 7 disposals. So she's on early, 1 tackle, 3 contested possessions. She's getting in and under, doing a lot of the work for the Saints.
Driving kick over McDonough, flicked down by Wales, waiting at the back, McDonald. Lambert again, possession number 8 for her. Missed the target. Now Smith and Wardlaw. Oh, Wardlaw with the hip and shoulder. Smith fought back. Well done. That's a win for the smaller player there in Tamara Smith, able to hold Wardlaw up.
Lambert coming off for the Saints, pretty disappointing, pretty lazy stuff. She's been working her backside off. She needs a spell.
Wales, Mackenzie. Beats Gilmore. Watson just tries to barge her way through. She's got T. Smith, who tackled a player that didn't have it. Umpire says play on. Oh, Stevenson's caught. Stolen by Grace Kelly at the back, and the high up and under. Wales is able to gobble that up.
Looks like the Saints are just trying to defend the open side when the Hawks get the ball back and trying to lock them out of coming back through the corridor forward of the defensive half, I suppose.
Richardson to Smith, and the switch is on.
So they're happy for this to go to the other side, and then force the error. There you go, bang.
And it was off the boot of Everest. McDonald's wrapped up by Bodie.
Well, the Hawks game, when in open play, is that uncontested possession. They want to look for that first kick. They opt for that lateral kick to try and spread the field. But at the moment, St Kilda's defenders are working really hard up the ground, ensuring that they can't get it over halfway mark.
No one in the ruck for the Saints, and then Lambert with the smother. from the Saints fans hanging over the fence in his left forward pocket at the city end. Lots of Hawks colours, lots of Saints colours. Look at the grandstand, 3/4 full. Ferris wheels going. The Ferris wheel sort of adds to the charm of this boutique stadium. And when there's no wind, it's superb conditions for a game of footy. The umpire says it's a Hawthorn free play and advantage to Fleming's able to hit up Stratton. Back to Fleming. Watch her go, Jazzy. She is brilliant. And how good is that? Stevenson drops what she should have taken. First game of the year for Louise. Jacobson.
Jazz Fleming, I want to say she moves like Monconti. The way that she just moved then, the change of pace, the put the ball under the arm and run. She has just been so impressive, the Hawks youngster.
Teenage sensation. They've been the stories of this season so far. Get out and watch them. She is one of the best.
So Stevenson started back, now he's forward for the Hawks, early having a spell.
West can't break that double tackle. There's the Ferris wheel in the background.
It's working beautifully today. No wind issues.
Can you give it a crack at half time?
I'm thinking about it.
While we were over there near the ice cream truck, Ruby and I wouldn't mind one either. Thanks, Hub.
I won't be moving anywhere from the ice cream truck in the afternoon there.
So the Hawks have got it deep inside their attacking end.
You should do it the commentary from the Ferris wheel one day, okay? That'd be good fun.
Scared of heights. Not doing that. Here we go. Can they break through for their first? Gilroy in the flashy blue boots, but no, touched over.
Well, we spoke about the Hawks forward 50 stoppages, how they've got a lot of space to work in, and it's actually the midfielders that put on blocks for the forwards to create opportunities like that. Gilroy getting on the move, having a snap at goal.
Stevenson in the right, gets it down to Stratton. The two inclusions this week couldn't quite combine.
So it just looks like in these scenarios, Rubes, that the Saints are happy for the Hawks to have the front of the stoppage back towards the boundary line, and they're locking out everything at the back so they can't get back into the space of the corridor.
McDonough in the goal square. Stevenson in the ruck. It's St Kilda. Vesely rockets it, and Tamara Smith takes the mark. Shorts the kick to the lead of Gilroy, who's been presenting and threatening so far in this match, and she has got 50 in her boot. I will not remind you, Rubes, of that. She's going to keep it low. She's looking for a target. Stevenson, our West rather, taken to the turf. Gilroy flashes through again, and this time it's through for a minor score. She's getting closer.
Yeah, I wonder if that's by design, because they are flashing through the front of that stoppage every time towards the boundary. The Saints don't seem too perturbed about it at this stage. It's Gilroy, though. I don't think they're in danger of getting scored against pretty heavily.
Absolutely. She's one that is just dangerous. Anywhere in that forward half, she can get so heavily involved and move it from one end to the other.
Oh, wonderful mark by Lucy Wales, reaching up high. And the pinpoint pass to Fleming, who's going to go back and line up for her first AFLW goal.
She won't get this distance, I don't think, Cal.
You don't think?
They just stand by.
No, she's going to give it off. Couldn't quite hit up Stratton on the lead. And now the Saints can repel. A series of handballs. McDonald over to Wardlaw, who's got a panic. What does she see up above? There's not too much to go for. And it's all Hawthorn, that brick wall across half-back.
So quick to get back. That's what impressed me.
Working really hard.
Kemp. Now Fleming. Bangs at Stratton. From behind. Oh, McDonough almost took an absolute screamer up over the back of her teammate Stratton. Stratton comes in hard on Vesely.
We've got some real aerial threats. McDonough, you saw Wales before.
And the siren sounds. The Hawks were peppering and peppering. McDonough almost took an absolute screamer. And two behinds to the Hawks. The Saints with a 1-8. It's secured by 6 points at quarter time.
This is Captain Cap.
Yo, Paul, what's going on, Squire? Teenage Bem Megalove, shout out, my most guapa manager in the world. Thanks for coming in. Great to see you. Paul, how you going? What's going on? Hope you're feeling well. Stay hunky. I don't know. Call for Stay Hunky. Where are you? Where are you? I don't know. Where is Stay Hunky? Oh no, Stay Hunky. Always looking for you, Day. So now we're looking for Hunky. I don't know. I don't know. Probably come in on the next match. On the next match, we'll probably see Stay Hunky, which is, of course, the men's second preliminary final. Who is it? Geelong and Brisbane. That should be a cracker. I think that comes up, starts at about 5:55. My gosh. Let me check that out. I tell you what, folks, this game is a cracking game that we've got going on here. St Kilda and Hawthorn, both teams, they come out to play. 5:15, the preliminary final, Geelong and the Cats. Yeah, this is a fantastic game. Both teams have come out to play. This actually feels like a finals match here today. They're both giving it their all. It's a great spectacle. It's a great game to watch. Unlike the Geelong Gold Coast, where Geelong absolutely spanked the Gold Coast up there. The Gold Coast didn't score for the first half, and then they kicked a goal and a couple in the final term. Geelong kicked about 96 points, I think, so it was an absolute walloping in that last game, but this game is totally different. St Kilda looked pretty good. Hawthorn looked pretty good. Hawthorn not a bad team in the AFLW. I think St Kilda aren't too bad either in that way as well. Of course, if you notice that the sound's a little bit different, I haven't used my microphone for this game or the last game. I just want to keep my phone power battery up on full for the main game, and then I'll use the mic in there to get the better sound for that game. There we go. Let's just have a quick glance at the player stats here. Who's leading the way? Look at that. Jamie Lambert up on 11 disposals. That's big numbers. Five kicks, 6 handballs, a couple of tackles, and a behind there. That will be, of course, for the Saints, and Jasmine Fleming there with 7 for the Hawks, doing quite well. Tell you what, it's not too bad of a day here. It's overcast. It's overcast, but not too bad a day at all. I'm not sure of the temperature. Let's have a look quickly at the temperature. There we go. It's about 14 degrees, mostly cloudy. No rain in sight. So that's what the temperature looks like at the moment, folks. So there we go. A lot of the players with low stats, some with no stats, but that's all right. It's only the first quarter. It's a tight tussle this match. Of course, only the one goal so far. Jessie Wardlaw, 1 goal from her 4 kicks. Can we have a quick glance at the stats? Well, let's just have a look at the team stats just as we're in. A shellacking it certainly was, Paul. And Tine saying g'day to Paul. Paul saying g'day to Tine. Good stuff. Good stuff. Tine, come and have your coffee and chocolate with me. I'm waiting now. Come on, manager. There we go. Disposals. It's 8 to the Hawks. Kicks to the Hawks. Handballs, of course, to the Saints. Inside 50s, both teams. Good to see. Pretty even there. 9 apiece. Free kicks, though. Hawthorn giving away a few more free kicks there. 7 to the Saints. 3 to the Hawks. The hit-outs, all pretty even. The clearances, Saints by 3, of course, centre clearances. The Saints have won all 2 centre clearances. Contested possession, uncontested, Hawks are finding a bit more space. 42 to 28. Have a look at those marks, though. 25 to 6. Controlling the ball a little bit more. The Hawks spreading it wide. Marks inside 50. 3 to 1. Finding their targets. All right, that's enough of me chit-chatting. Let's get back down to the ground for the second quarter, where it's the Saints by 6 points.
Absolutely, and to be honest, the way she's playing, I wouldn't expect anything less. A little bit of extra specialty in this game for her with the 75 games. We see her match stats there, 11 disposals, 5 of those contested. It's just the way she likes to play.
Del Sando's got them purring so far this year, and Nick is with Lauren Wood.
He certainly does, Kel. Nick, we love watching a tight game like this, but I would imagine it's a very different situation when you're the coach.
Oh, well, I've enjoyed the first quarter, to be honest. It's been a little bit of an arm wrestle. What is it, 1 goal to none at the moment, so hasn't been as open and free flowing as probably both teams have shown where they're somewhere near their best, but it's been a great contest. I think both sides have got to work out a few little things. We've got to tidy up a few things from our area as well, but it's been an okay start.
Jamie Lambert, we're obviously celebrating her 75th game today. She's been into everything, smothering and shots at goal. You must be really pleased having her on your side.
We're always pleased with her. I mean, she does a lot. It's nice to see her get her hands on the football a little bit as well, but she plays both sides of the footy. She's happy to chase, she dives on those balls, and a couple of smothers were good as well.
What do you need to tidy up?
Probably just a little bit about ball movement going forward. I thought we got our hands on the footy, particularly by handball. Just missed a couple, and therefore the flow of that play's gone. But it's been a great contest.
We'll get back up the box. Good luck.
Thank you.
Has been a great contest. He's right about that, the Saints coach. Spills out to Bodie. Still looking for their first goal in this game. And kicking with the breeze. Almost couldn't quite break the tackle. McDonough and then comes in and lands a fierce tackle. It spills clear. Vesely's kick was smothered by West, rather. Met heavily down there was Grace Kelly. Body's on the line.
Love the work of Paige Trajan in that one-on-one as the ball came in to the 450 for the Hawks, gets the ball to ground, then follows that, gets the handball released to a teammate.
Oh, Wales flicks it behind her head. Might come off here. Here's Gilroy, kicks around the corner. Under the pump, trying to chase after it is Hitwell. She keeps it in play. She gets her boot to ball. Loose ball in that goal square. And the repelling kick from Nick Stevens. Chance for Williamson off to Breed, and it comes back to Richardson rather, who goes into that pocket. Here's McDonough. If she's not doing it in the air, she's doing it at ground level. Brilliant smother again. Lambert's everywhere. How many Jamie Lamberts are out there? It feels like there's one in the midfield, one down back and one up forward at the moment.
I reckon I've heard Nick Galsano say he'd like one of those in each area before. He'd like 3 of them to put in each zone of the game.
No one can win it in the air or at ground level. Now it's flicked out. Bates set upon. Tackled by guess who? And guess who wins the free kick? This is an extraordinary individual performance. She's doing what Moncon showed us on Thursday night.
Yeah, it's utterly dominant she's at the moment, Jamie Lambert.
Got loose players wide. Goes in that direction. Vesely flicks out the handball to the speedster, the Irish woman in Grace Kelly. It might just sit here for the Saints. It does. Exxon's kick. Out into a paddock. Richards will get there, but she can't keep it in.
Importantly, she got a touch before it went over the boundary line, so not a free kick to the Hawks. The stoppage just outside their arc, which is a good place to start. Just those little nuances of the game are important. Just touch it before it gets over the line. Don't cough up possession for the opposition. They can be big moments.
Fiedler in the front position. West fires out the handball to Bates. Tries to break the tackle of Smith. Good luck. T. Smith. Tough tackling machine. Love the way the number 6 for the Saints goes about it. Puts it towards Wardler. Flicks out wide. Boyd. Keeps it in. To Wardler. Tries the fend off. Hawks with the numbers. Oh, T. Smith with the smother. How many great smothers have we seen in this contest so far? Breeden up and under. Strong mark. Well done. She knew that they were bearing down on her Ainsley Kemp, and she stood her ground.
So they're tough at the contest at the moment, the Saints. They're winning quarter time, they're +3 contest possessions, +3 for clearance.
Risky tries to get it to Richardson. She does get on the end of it eventually. Just throws it on the boot. It beats McDonough. Kick out. Overrunning it was West. Swooping on it is Gilroy with that thumping kick. What sort of bounce does she get here? Not the one she needed.
On the flip side of that, Cal, in the open game, it's all Hawthorn. +19 for uncontested marks, +15 uncontested possession. So when the ball's out in space, they're happy to control the tempo, control possession routes, rather than necessarily go more direct goal to goal.
Tell you what, Gilroy, how far do you reckon she can kick it, Ruby? There's a free kick going Hawthorn's way here and a chance for their first goal.
Well, I reckon now with that wind behind them we spoke about, there is that light wind, she'd pretty happily roll onto her right and have a ping from outside 50. I think she'd be pretty happy with that. We saw that she was able to do it against my team a couple of weeks ago, so very capable. But they've also got a lot of forwards who can be really dangerous. Black Brady Hibwell lining up, who is definitely one of them, and She's obviously a tall forward, but when the attention's being paid to Anya McDonough, she can be very dangerous.
So she's been battling a lower leg injury, named in this team, and there is nothing wrong with that right leg at the moment. Hitwell slots through the Hawks first.
Well, you spoke about half the Hawks' uncontested game and the way they're pretty happy to look as we see where that free kick was there. Bianca Jacobson just holding onto the jumper of Bridie Hitwell there was definitely there. But that uncontested game, they're happy to do that in the back half, just build it up. It's something Tilly Lucas-Rod has a big part in, is that controlled ball movement. Yep. They hit about halfway and they're pretty happy to then put on the accelerator and try and hit the last line, which we saw there, that deep entry from Gilroy to McDonough, the Irish women linking up, and they're happy for it to hit the floor because the forwards work bloody hard to get back and create something on ground level.
It's getting some fan feedback over the fence as well. Bridie, I think, was encouraging. She enjoyed it. Wales, here they go again. Fleming, a long bomb. She's asking McDonough to rise. Trudgeon's the matchup. Stratton tries to duck the tackle of Alice Burt. Watson, that was a throw. Umpire didn't see it. Stratton with the tackle. Oh, dumping one. Exxon, or rather Xenos with the free. Launching is Wardlaw. She had a real good look at that one. Lucas Rod around the corner. Here's a chance for Ashmore. Can she burst through? And put it through, she can't.
You see there Nick Stevens, who's a pretty calm, cool operator, and her move to the defence from the forward line is a really good one. She played defence when she was back at Collingwood, her first club. But just the pressure there that the Hawks are putting them under can almost feel like you don't have that uncontested mark, and just opting to punch there when she probably could have grabbed it.
Watson hits up Jacobson. Lambert's ball from behind was good. And then she's legged. Wins the free. Is this play on advantage? He says yes. Fleming. Good eyes out in front of McDonough. Couldn't take it under pressure. Bodie goes to ground. Erdley. Pack of players around at West in a tight spot. Oh, the handball just missed Bates. She was through.
Just watching the Saints fall to the ball roofs when they're in defensive 50 with a set play situation mark or free kick. They're not committing to one side, but they're not spreading the ground either. So it's a difficult challenge, I think, to move the ball up when you've got shape like that ahead of the footy.
Vesselita Stevens on that left foot. Picked off by the Hawks again. This is Louise Stevenson. She's a thumping left kick. McDonough off her shins. And Stratton applying another forward 50 tackle.
That's not the only thing that makes it difficult to move the ball out, but when you've got three spare Hawthorn players behind the ball.
Early to Gilroy. Jacobson. She has to play on to Guttridge. Off to Alice Burt. Running off half-back. High ball. Making Exxon work. That's a great matchup. Tilly Lucas-Rod spearing pass to Bates. What's Bates seen? Inside 50. Charging out McDonough. Over her head. Stone trying to get there, so too did Erdley.
It's hard for St Kilda when they are forced to go to that fat side. All their forwards are set up skinny, so they're having to work really hard, and Exxon tried to create the contest with Lucas Rod there. Ended up in Hawthorn's favour, but St Kilda's forwards aren't even over there to create a contest yet.
Saints defenders under pressure. Curry kick, Burke marks it. Well done, it was a sky ball and she read it well with Stratton bearing down.
Saw a step before on the screen, forward half time, 52 to 48 in favour of the Hawks. And this quarter it's 80% in favour of the Hawks. Did you kick the ball out before?
Yep. Sure did. Nathan, the legend of this club, would be here today, Nathan Burke. Watching his...
Is he wearing his helmet?
Here's a chance for the Hawks. Williamson's going to send it right there. And couldn't quite take the mark with McDonough. She's having an almost day, isn't she? She's got close a few times.
Well, I think the matchup, it's a great matchup for the game, McDonough and Trudgeon. Trudgeon's doing a great job at the moment. But I think Anya McDonough could be one of the best forwards in the competition.
Absolutely.
In the next 12, 24 months.
In just her second season.
Watson blasts it long. They're going to come back again. Fleming tries to fire it out to Bodie. Couldn't get there. Bates will get involved. Great smother on Vesely. Spills the weight of the Hawks. Again, McDonald, trudging, just charges through. Gilroy's going to try and flick it up. Still they go.
So it's all Hawthorn here in terms of territory. It's Kilda holding out well, whereas it's almost looking like ahead of the ball for the Saints. They're not committing any numbers. They're all getting around the contest, defensive side of the contest to try and eliminate the chances maybe of Hawthorn scoring this quarter. Scoring many goals this quarter.
Karras, Jacobson, oh, that's a throw from Ellis Bird. The taller player, McDonald, was bearing down. And just a moment of madness.
Well, you spoke about just then, them being defensive side of the stoppage. We saw the ball movement just then. We saw players get involved on the defensive side of that Hawks forward 50 stoppage. But they're just flicking around a little too much, playing around with it, and they made them hurt.
Wanya McDonough for a 6th goal of the season. Slots it back-to-back for the Hawks.
Well, she's looked dangerous, McDonough, and you spoke about her just before half of what you see her potential being, and I can't help but agree. She's such a hard matchup. She's their tallest forward they've got up there. But not only does she have height, she also has the agility and the ground level, which a lot of the Irish players that come over, they do have that. It's that Gaelic ability in them that they're able to read the ball in the air, but also their whole game is based around agility and 1v1 contests. And that's the position that Hawthorn and Dan Webster is putting Anya in. Look at her deep in the square there, that one-on-one contest with Trudgeon. And Hawks' ball movement now is a more predictable game style that's allowing her to be in those positions more than, say, last year.
So Hawks with a handy lead now after it was the Saints by 6 points at quarter time. Can they go forward through Lambert, off to Smith? Goes to the one-on-one contest. Caught behind was Boyd. Exxon burst through. Campbell, Richards, got her eyes on it. Back to Boyd. Caught by Tam Smith. Gone.
You better off just holding on to that ball, I reckon. Just having a reset inside your forward 50 rather than cough up possession.
Awkward little kick for Smith.
Saints need to work hard to keep this in their forward half here.
Yep.
Williamson, one-on-one. It's stolen by the Saints. Kelly to Exxon. Exxon doesn't back herself from there, and there's Jessie. Wardlaw with a separation on her direct opponent, Jesna Richardson. And Wardlaw will go back and line up for a second.
That's how the Saints are going to keep themselves in this game. It's the forward half intercepts. When it gets into Hawks' dangerous territory in their forward line, they're really struggling to move the ball. They need these clean set-abouts, clearances, and keeping forward half turnovers to create these shots on goal.
For the Saints' second goal of the afternoon. For Wardlaw's second goal of the afternoon. And she converts. A real tug of war. Fascinating contest unfolding at Moorabbin in front of a very, very healthy crowd here this afternoon.
Yeah, critical to own that forward half for a little while for the Saints. Have had so much trouble getting out of their back half. So that centre-backs, stupid as it sounds, that goal for McDonald might have been the best thing to happen to the Saints to get it back to the centre. They can start to get ascendancy again and get on the scoreboard and have a scoring look, which is what they did on that occasion. So any centre-bounce opportunities, but particularly as Ruby called, and I think it's a really good insight, being able to put pressure on Hawthorn coming out of the defensive 50 and lock it in, give them a couple of chances for repeat entries into this breeze is a very important part of today's proceedings, I reckon.
Daniel Harford, Ruby Schleicher, all live and exclusive this game on Fox Footy, and then still to come the penultimate game of the men's AFL season. Which team will play the Swans in next week's grand final? Will it be the Cats or will it be the Brisbane Lions? Settling for the afternoon, all through the evening. Plenty of great football coming your way, including this one. The two big improvers. Season 9, Stratton, just tripping at the last minute. And Stevenson applying a tackle. Wales slotting it over, looking for Breed, breaks the tackle and gone. Doesn't break the tackle, in fact. So Emily Fiedler in her second AFLW game. Goes towards Wardlaw, slips through her fingers. Tam Smith, he's a nuggety defender. And a turnover because of the pressure. T. Smith can't get involved. West applies a tackle.
Fleming just looking a little sore after that bump from Nicola Zenos. I mean, Zenos is a hard nut. That's what she does. She puts her body on the line. It was a smart bump.
Yeah.
Fleming just a little preppy.
Corky, I reckon.
Hate a corky.
No one likes a corky.
Bit of confusion out there before eventually the umpire says it's a free kick going to Eliza West. Premiership player with the Demons. Off to Gilroy. Here she goes. Oh, that's more than 50. Look at it go. It flies with the wind behind it. McDonough fires it out. Williamson loops the handball over the top. Greta Bodie. She's a goal sneak. Loves them in the pocket. She loves them anywhere. Greta Bodie.
She did it at Brisbane. There's no reason she can't do it here at the Hawks. A really good piece of play from Hawthorn. We still see Gilroy get up higher, that deep entry. I reckon I agree with you. Probably just about on 50. Anya McDonough flying, and her ability to go, right, I'm probably not going to pick this one up. I'm just going to keep it moving. I've got numbers streaming down. Kept it going, and, you know, if you're going to handball it to a teammate on a tighter angle, Greta Bodie's probably going to be that teammate.
I'll tell you what, Bodie's wearing the blue boots, like Gilroy out there in the blue boots. What about Fox Footy if the bosses are listening, huh?
Yes.
On grand final day, they have the biggest kick, see if you can clear the Yarra.
Yes.
Have you done it, Ruby?
No, I was injured last year. I was meant to. I was injured.
You had your knee, your whole leg in a brace. Got to get Gilroy out there, surely. Let's mount the campaign.
Cool.
Time for an Irish woman to take part. I reckon she could go close to clearing the Yarra. Who else would be a contender, Ruby? You think about that. Who's got the longest kick in the AFLW? Is Smith's been brilliant for the Hawks down back. Ashmore tries to dance around McDonald. West.
Did really well, Molly McDonald then. She wasn't the one ultimately that got to the second moment, but Corral, Ashmore, Modi just handball up in the edges to try something and then got physically involved again. Well done.
He's a big metres game player, is Molly McDonald, and having a great start to this season. Excellent. Oh, there's Gilroy with the hip and shoulder. She can do it all. Into the centre of the ground. Fleming's there. West always goes for the handball first. Brought down Miss Hickwell. They couldn't break clear, and she is again a ferocious tackler.
Hawks have already got three behind the ball here.
T. Smith flares it wide to Kelly. Sockers it off the ground, and that'll roll over unless she can get there. No, it'll be a last touch, so free kick to the Hawks.
So they've got to be a bit more discerning when they win that ball in that attacking mid-zone between the centre of the ground, the line across the centre of the ground and the forward 50. Hawthorn are really quick to commit numbers back, so you've got to work the ball around the arc a little bit, change the angle of attack if you're going to get through with any great penetration.
Kelly, a roller. Fleming in hards to Reem Watson the other way.
On the flip side, a few more layers defensively for St Kilda might help them behind the ball as well, as rather than getting really flat up high and having one pair deep behind them.
Fiedler does well in the ruck, beating Wales. Williamson, the speedster. Gilroy. Tough under control. It clears McDonough. She's in a tussle. McDonough's going to be pinged for holding. Just tried to work her way in front of Trudgeon. And here is Paige Trudgeon. Revelation for the Saints down back so far this season.
It came relatively cheap. It brought her on for free with the pick that Carlton traded her for. I don't think the Saints used it, so she came for free, effectively, I think.
Did you coach her at Carlton?
Trudgy, yeah. She came as one of our train-ons, and she was a new replacement this spot, I think, when we first gave her her
big
chance. Yeah, she's just such a great athlete, great competitor, basketball background, so moves well, reads play well, and a great competitor. Dale really likes her competitiveness.
And they'll go here one-on-one. It's been a key matchup, McDonough and Trudgeon. McDonough with the one goal so far.
Had a really rough couple of years of jaw surgery to help her breathe. Her airway wasn't open properly, so had to have basically reconstruct her jaw. She was nursing and for 8 hours a day and then coming to training for a big chunk of the season. So she was just knackered effectively for 2 seasons. And now she's getting a reward for her ability to stay the course, which is great.
Wardler's the target. Surrounded by Hawks. Wardler applies a tackle 360 on her premiership teammate Emily Bates. And Bates has got to give her that one.
Bit of extra love at the end there as well.
Yeah, there was. Oh, runs into Serene Watson. Bates. Wardler with the fend off. And then the kick was smothered by Gilroy. Brilliant hustle. McDonough's got free. McDonough drops it in the end. She did all the hard work on Jacobson. Trudgeon comes in. Trudges it over.
Trudges it over. I see what you did there. Nice work.
Gonna stay with me, Half.
Smother count there, 7-2. So the Saints just putting in those hard yards, those little 1%ers that lift the team, but also get you these more opportunities in the forward half. And I reckon Jamie Lambert probably has about 2 or 3 of them.
This is a great contest. It promised a lot, and it's delivering so far. Good mark too.
Oh, yeah.
Fiedler. Rising up behind was Kemp. Going to come back to her, gets the kick away. Gilroy flicks it out. Vesely lost it. West. Bates bangs it. Charging out McDonough again. Now she'll go. Wheel around, want to get on her favoured left. And Gilroy in for Bodie rather in front. Bodie's going to go back and line up for a second, and this will make it 4-1 this term.
Well, that's the advantage and the craft of being a good forward from Bodie. She was constantly moving ahead of that ball then as McDonough had possession of it, and she was moving, so her defender was watching her, and then that allowed Bodie to move to the ball first, react first to get back to where the ball was going to be. Great craft and excellent work.
This would be deflating for the Saints after they led by 6 points at quarter time. Bodie lining up for her second of the term, and to give them a handy lead. It's a 16-point lead. It's footy fever in Melbourne on a Saturday afternoon. We're going to go from Moorabbin here to the MCG for the second men's preliminary final. The Cats and the Brisbane Lions right after this AFLW clash.
All right, so we've got a pretty good game on here, folks. You know what? She's pretty even. Pretty even. It's just that Hawthorn are taking their chances as they're getting in there forward 50 and, of course, finding that little bit of space. Their targets like they did. Got a nice kick after the goal, after the siren, to give an extra 6 points to the Hawks, who lead now by 16 points, 4-6-30, leading the Saints 2-2-14. Just a quick... in the other game at half-time, playing at Fremantle Oval, where Fremantle are taking on Melbourne. It's Melbourne leading in that game over there. Of course, Melbourne 5-1-31, leading the Dockers 2-5-17. The other AFLW game being played at the moment. Half-time in both matches. There we go. Wolfpack says, go the Saints. Yeah, the Saints aren't too bad of a team. Let me just try and bring this up. Let me just try and move this over here. There we go. If I turn the live ladder off, let's just have a look at the ladder for the AFLW. Of course, there is St Kilda sitting second, 3 all wins. 3 out of 3 wins for the Saints so far. Of course, they defeated Gold Coast, they defeated Sydney, and they defeated Essendon. Of course, Hawthorn down there, who are looking in good form. They've played 3. They've had 2 wins and 1 loss. Of course, they beat Carlton, they beat Collingwood, and they had a loss to Adelaide. But Adelaide are a good side over there. If we turn the live ladder on now, because Hawthorn are going in at halftime, leading this match, and if it stayed the way it is, St Kilda would drop to 4th. That percentage would drop, of course, and of course Hawthorn would bounce their way up into 5th. So that's the way it would go at the moment. So look at the disposals at halftime. Jamie Lambert there leads away on 15. Serene Watson and Jasmine Fleming both on 11. Eliza West on 10 with Tanya Smith and Eileen Gilroy all on 10. Look at that, 10 disposals, 10 kicks. Loves to kick the ball there, does Eileen Gilroy. There you go. Good stuff. All right, let's just roll down the board a little bit. See your favourite player. There we go. Molly McDonald down on 5. Alice Burke 4. There's a couple with a little bit low stats, but that's all right. I tell you what, stay tuned for the second half of this game. This really is a good game being played today, folks. This game between, of course, St Kilda and Hawthorn down at RSEA Park in Melbourne. Two good teams battling it out. There we go. Jessie Wardlaw and Greta Bodie, the only multiple goal scorers on the ground. One for St Kilda, one for Hawthorn. A. McDonough and Bridie Hitwell, the only other two single goal scorers there for Hawthorn. AFL fantasy points, just in case you play that game, 58 to Jessie Wardlaw leading the way. Jamie Lambert 57, Aileen Gilroy 50, and the rest under that. As we do, let's have a look at the team stats. It's the Hawks by 26, 28 in the kicking department. Saints, a couple more handballs to them. Inside 50s, both getting plenty of option there. 14 inside 50s for St Kilda for their 4 scoring shots. And of course, 22 inside 50s for the Hawks for their 10 scoring shots. Efficiency, not too bad. 64, 62% there. Free kicks, 15-7. Saints well on top there. In the hitouts, Hawks just leading the way. Clearances just, and the centre clearances just by 3 there to the Saints. Contested possession, well, only 11 the difference, but 22 in favour of the Hawks, who are controlling the ball a little bit more. Controlling the ball means chipping it, kicking it, marking it. And you can see there 22 to 32, the Hawks by 20 in that department. Let's just have a look down at the tackles, 31-25. It tackles inside 50, Hawthorn doing a bit more then. All right, let's get back down to the ground with the commentators. We're going to have a little bit more of a chat about the first half.
A really hard forward to match up on when she's close to goal, let alone the work she's doing outside of 50, the tackles she's laying on, and it's the forward half pressure from St Kilda that's allowing them to do that. When the ball is being played in Hawthorn's forward half, they're struggling to move the ball up. So where the opportunities are coming for them to attack is the forward half turnovers, which their small forwards are creating those opportunities, or goals scored. So when the Hawks have scored a goal, they've been able to bring it to centre bounce, try creating clearance, try get forward half ascendancy, and they've been able to score from there. From the Hawks, on the meanwhile, Anya McDonough has been incredible. She is flying for everything, although things haven't quite paid off for her. She is the one creating these opportunities. We see this incredible Greta Bodie goal doing what Greta does, but Anya McDonough has a play in all of this. We see her flying again when it's not exactly working out. She's wheeling onto her favoured left and creating these sorts of opportunities. So the Hawks forwards are so lively, and they're a really hard matchup. So St Kilda's defensive unit, which we know is a really solid defensive unit, they've got their work cut out for them.
Well, a very even spread of those halftime highlights there, thanks to Chemist Warehouse. You mentioned those Hawthorn forwards, and you had to match up on them just a few weeks ago, how sort of fleet-footed they are. And Greta Bodie obviously came to Hawthorn from Brisbane a couple of seasons ago, and is really holding that up forward for them with 2 goals of her own, as I say, to match Jessie Wardlaw's 2 from the home side. Obviously, St Kilda looking to gain back that ascendancy in this second half. If we go around the grounds just for a moment, Geelong got their first win of the season a little bit earlier today. 69-point winners over Gold Coast, so an incredibly comprehensive victory for the Cats to finally get themselves on the winners list, having had a draw earlier in the season. So they move to 6 points on the AFLW ladder, and another game underway at the moment with Melbourne currently leading Fremantle. So some pretty tight contests happening this afternoon, and always a lot of news happening around the AFLW as well.
You're always on top of it, Loz.
Well, that's very kind, but we'll keep you across it, of course, throughout the afternoon. But an interesting one with Richmond player Ellie McKenzie. She was banned last night for 1 game for a dangerous tackle from their match on Thursday evening, and I suppose just another quirk of the compressed fixture, isn't it, Ruby? Her tribunal hearing in challenging that is going to be at 8:30 a.m. on Monday morning, with Richmond obviously playing on Tuesday night. So a lot to contend with at this time of year with that busy fixture.
Well, if we've learned anything throughout AFLW AFLW's existence, it's be ready for anything. Two seasons in 1 year, whatever it is, tribunal, the night before a game, who knows? But Richmond, they'll be going in prepared no matter what, but they'll be hoping to go in with Ellie McKenzie because she is just hitting her straps this year. She's an incredibly important player for them supporting Monconti.
That's right. As I say, very, very busy on and off the field with AFLW. St Kilda looking to get back on top of Hawthorn here at RSEA Park in this second half. It's a cracking contest. We'll be back with all the action right after this. Schleicher, I'm guessing that comes from lamb chop.
Yep, the old lamb chop. Oh, look, I think the St Kilda teammates pretty much described her bang on there. She's a woman of very few words, but I'll tell you one thing, she lets her footy do the talking for her, and it's a good thing because she's an incredible player. She's someone who puts her body on the line for her teammates, and I mean, we look at her stuff in the stat sheet already today. 16 disposals, 8 contested possessions, 4 clearances. That's just the kind of player she is.
As we turn into the second half of this intriguing contest, Saints undefeated so far. Hawks just one loss to the Crows, and the Hawks with a 16-point lead after trailing by 6 at quarter time.
Coach Lambert season 2 as the midfield coach of the Pies, Cal, and she would bake me every week for not coaching her hard enough. I'd get a cook.
Well, you weren't coaching hard enough.
I was going to say, that might say more about you, Daniel Harford, than it does about the player.
Funnily enough, I didn't get it from too many others.
Here's Hannah Priest, the captain of the Saints. Quiet first half for Hannah Priest across half-back. There's McDonough. Kicked. A goal this afternoon, and Stevens.
Now, Harf, if you nick Dell at half-time, what are you saying to the Saints girls when it does get caught in defensive 50? How are they working the ball through?
Yeah, I'd like to see a bit more width in their game, I must admit, Rubes. It's all pretty one-dimensional at the moment from what we've seen so far. And part of that's from the pressure from the Hawks, the way they're setting up, but also when the ball's in general play in the defensive 50 for the Saints. But I'd like to see a bit more composure, just that first little quick kick exit, just to get control of the game again, and then expand the ground a bit and make the Hawks defend.
Lambert's rushed kick's been chopped off by...
Like this. This is good from the Hawks. Open the game up a bit.
Lucas Rod, Everest, almost mark. Donna's got her hands to it so many times this afternoon, and then Wardlaw pushes her opponent off it, wheels around. 3 on to 3 inside 50 here. Which way does the ball sit? Held up. Renee Karras applying a tackle.
Because you've got to start to think at half-time, what's working, what are we doing, is it working, and why or why not? And currently it's not working for the Saints, so there's got to be another avenue.
Wardlaw just tried to take it one-handed out of the ruck, but as soon as it hit the turf, Bates was there. Gives it to Bree, Bodie, Vesely, handball, chopped off because of Smith bearing down. Smith's going to get it at the back here. Hurry kick, bouncing ball inside that centre square. Priest shoved. Falls onto the ball. T. Smith tried to shovel it out of there. And now the foot race is on. Jacobson does well, but she waits for some assistance. It wasn't forthcoming. And Bodie falls on the ball.
One area of the game I reckon the Saints would have been concerned about the Hawks was the contest. When the Saints are playing really good footy so far this year, they're great around the contest and winning the real hard ball. And the Hawks really upped their game in that second quarter, plus 15 as Rube said at half-time in the second quarter for contested possession. So that's an asset the Saints have they've had taken away from them.
Bodie with a couple for the Hawks, Wardlaw with a couple for the Saints. Real scrap to start this second half.
And that's okay for a little while for the Saints, but they've got to start to get some flow into this game. With this breeze advantage, not huge, but just enough to assist in this third term. They've got to hit the scoreboard here.
You can tell there's a bit of a breeze because the
Ferris
wheel's rocking a little bit harder, I think, Half.
So you're on Ferris wheel watch for the breeze.
I am.
I'm on ponytails.
You did ponytail watch.
You're on Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
How we go?
I'm not sure we'll ever make it as a meteorologist, but anyway. Wales somehow gets boot to ball. Beats McDonough. Here's a chance for Ashmore bursting. Caught by Kelly.
It's been a good battle, Grace Kelly and Caitlin Ashmore. Caitlin Ashmore has been having a good year on the wing this year, been in absolutely everything for the Hawks, but Grace Kelly just going with her everywhere at the moment.
Handball away. Priest. Kelly bombs it. Kemp plays on quickly, skirts the perimeter. Tilly Lucas-Rod lowers her eyes and sees Bates by herself. Too far out to score. Could have gone to McDonough in the pocket. And now the Saints defenders get back and plug the holes. Bates says she's going long. She skies it. She asks them to run and leap. That's what McDonough does. Bounces off the blue boot of Gilroy. Richards, nice pick up under pressure. Spins and goes. And almost hits up her teammate on the chest there. Boyd it was that lost it. Lucas Rod just tries to flick it through to Smith, who has to tackle Molly McDonald instead. T. Smith, Molly McDonald keeps her feet, out to Priest, the captain. Seeing more of the ball this third term. Richards. So we've got Jamie Lambert on 75 this afternoon. The player that's played the most in the competition. Ali Anderson has 83, the Brisbane Lions champ. And Ebony Marinoff will join Ali Anderson on 83 tomorrow.
Best and fairest to Ali Anderson's name, and a possible best and fairest at some stage to Ebony Marinoff. We know how good she can be.
So they're closing in, and it's like the race to 100, isn't it, Ruby?
How many for you, Slosher?
Oh, not many. I love an injury. I reckon I'm up to 56 or something like that.
You're coming with a rush, it's all right.
I hit my 52 seasons ago, so that tells you how well I'm going.
It's 57 actually, Ruby.
Oh, thank you.
You missed last week.
She's forgotten about it.
Oh, she'd take the... Oh, friendly fire. Priest going back. Jacobson. It goes again. Bounces back up. Can they produce something here? Boyd takes off after it. She's got Smith, the tough nut, for company. Boyd, again, on the left. Smith with a tackle. And then Smith tries to barge her way through. She's a brutal footballer. Tamara Smith, well done.
Tell what Dale might be able to do, Rubes. They're a bit cumbersome forward, I reckon. Karras and Boyd and Wardlaw's athletic, but a bit more fleet of foot players in that forward half. The ball's on ground level a bit. Maybe that might be an assistance for them.
Kelly throws it on the left.
They're a bit tall.
Who's that? Who's too tall?
The Saints, the forward line. They're a bit tall, I reckon, and they need more mobility and more strength at ground level, and the ball's getting there.
What sort of move would you make then?
I'm just trying to work out who's on the bench at the moment. Oh, I'll be getting Xenos in there. Xenos there. I'll be getting that playing around there. The Darcy Guttridge, I'll be trying to...
takes it out of the right. Goes the snap.
Rest Guttridge forward. Wouldn't be taking her off the ground if we didn't have to too often. They just look a bit big forward of the ball. And the way the Hawks defend, get it to ground really quickly, and then disperse into the open spaces is really catching on the hop here.
Lucas Rod, what a season they are having. Putting it together nicely to Everest. Handball over the top, all under the pump here. Fleming lost it. Molly McDonald just came through, snatched it, gets on the left. Lucas Rod, Smith. You're right, the Swans for the Hawks are combining so well down back. Fleming. West by herself, centre half back. Now they're out. Here's a chance, Breed. Gives it off to Gilroy. Over the head, does it sit here for Stratton? Jacobson first to the footy. Coughs it up. Stone wheels around, and the defensive mark taken by Trojan. Read that beautifully. Got a bit of separation on McDonough. Goes towards Exum. Unkind bounce, flicked down by Williamson. Over to Breed. High ball. Who's home? Jacobson walks it over. Bianca Jacobson talking really bravely and publicly this week about losing her dad last year. Both her mum and dad have succumbed to cancer by the time she's 30, and doing it because it is Spuds game, the inaugural AFLW Spuds game here this afternoon. Spoke about the mental health challenges she faced last year, Bianca Jacobson, thinking she might not be able to play footy again. It was a tough read. It's great to see her back out there playing footy.
Let's see. Here. She's been a fantastic player. BJ through, well, she's an inaugural player, wasn't she? The D's? No, the Blues. Blues and the D's. Yeah.
She was pick 3 in the 2016 national draft.
A great servant for the competition. This is not working for the Saints. Great pressure, really good setup. They're really well drilled. It's not working for the Saints.
Lucas Rod tries to find someone. Oh, Bodie's just going to play on. Makes it look easy. These Hawks, the team to beat today. She's got 3.
Well, it's all coming off the back of Hawthorn's setup outside 50, and Tilly Lucas Rod has really been a driver of that. They're up to 13 possessions. And just the re-entries that are killing St Kilda at the moment. Well, for starters, the exit of D50 is what's killing them. There's no real rhyme or reason to them. They're having to dump and to no numbers outside 50. So Tilly Lucas Rod able to read it, and Greta Bodie, as she does, just always in best position and always finding the goals.
So it's been a strength for the Saints there, the defensive work this year and their assets behind the ball, but today, because of the pressure at the source from Hawthorn, it just takes away any time and space to do too much, and then seemingly forward of that contest, they're breaking down, they're not getting to the positions they want to have as those at-the-release positions, and the Hawks are all over it formation-wise behind the ball. It's very impressive. Dan Webster's doing a good job.
5 of the last 6 now to the Hawks after a slowish start. Stevenson into the ruck.
Dan Webster's moved Aileen Gilroy into the centre bounce.
And Fiedler was able to knock it down. Lambert, it's kicked into the back of a Hawthorn player's head. Stevenson tries to feed it out. Good pressure again, Lambert goes. They desperately need a goal, and Wardlaw gets on the end of it. Just read the fall of that ball beautifully. She's been their only goal kicker this afternoon.
We know she has a boot on her. I back her in from this distance, particularly with that little bit of a breeze that's favouring this end of the ground. As we see a pretty decent game up to this point, the 11 disposals, 2 goals. If she can make it 3, and match her former teammate at the other end of the ground, Greta Bodie. It's the ex-Brisbane players running rampant.
Sprinkles a bit of grass, a la Matthew Lloyd. Directly in front. Distance and accuracy will really test her. What she got in her boot this afternoon, she lets rip. A much needed goal, but couldn't find the major. Just sprays it to the left.
There's no flow in that run-up, is there? From Jessie?
A little bit awkward. Didn't look like her natural
a couple of times.
runner. And this is where St Kilda have to work really hard to keep it in their forward half and create another opportunity.
Stratton flew in the pack. Eardley stripped of it. Stevens. Almost a chance for playing. Lucas Rod. Bodie around the corner. Skittles through a couple. Stratton goes back to get it. Ellisberg forced the stoppage. Fiedler. Holding. Off the ball. Free kick going the Saints' way. It's going to Fiedler. It wasn't off the ball. It was in the ruck contest to Vesely. She just throws it on the boot in the Jessie direction. Couldn't take the mark. Four Saints surrounded Laura Elliott there. She was mauled.
The opportunity was to mark the ball. Jessie Waller, she had the defender toasted there. Got the ball offline inside forward 50. That seems to be working okay for the Saints, but got to take those grabs.
Lucas Rod, another kick. Who can get there first, and can they keep it in play? Kelly's pushed off it by Williamson. Kelly follows up with a tackle. Stevens tries to break a couple of tackles, and one was Eardley, and Eardley does well. Rewarded and goes. Presses the green button to Fleming in the centre of the ground.
So Darcy Guttridge, just a head clash there.
Jamie Lambert.
Just coming off the ground.
Lambert, tough as nails, didn't even flinch, I don't think.
Big ball to be won. Centre half forward here for the Saints. For the Hawks, rather. Smith turns into trouble. Richards wrapped her up and gone. They can go here. Play on advantage. Zenos with the kick. It's a one-on-one inside 50. Wardlaw flicks it down.
Taking that ball in was brilliant. It's a really simple thing. It might sound really stupid, but she just needed to hold that so the ball didn't spill out. The Saints had an extra number.
She was the most nervous woman at Moorabbin there for a moment. Ashmore met heavily by Burke. Louise Stevenson pushing McDonald around, so there's a bit of feeling in this one. Saints need to get a wriggle on. Karras tackled by Wales. And at ground level, Lauren Wood, loss.
Darcy Guttridge helped from the ground there by the Medicos guys. There was a little shake of her head at one stage, but she's looking in pretty good shape after that friendly fire. Just having a chat with the doctor now, so we'll let you know.
Thanks, Lauren. Richards should be able to keep it in play here. Goes down the line. Boyd curls it round. Burke fires it out. Karras just pumps it. Wardlaw outnumbered, almost paid. Richards with the snap. Oh, what a smother. Emily Everest has had a brilliant minute where she was able to get the stoppage in that one-on-one 50-50 with Wardlaw, and then a great smother. And Guttridge, we can see, looks like she's going to go down into the St Kilda rooms. Grace Kelly. Spoil from Wales and over.
Yeah, so 20 points down, 2 minutes to go with the scoring end. They really need to snag a goal here. St Kilda, even if it's not to that point yet maybe, but commit another number to the ball and see what St Kilda do. Get another defender forward just to see what happens. Even cough up one on the way back if you have to, but you've got to try and score in this next 2 minutes.
Wardlaw just says, I'll do it all on my own. Got into trouble. Bounce beats Richards. McDonald scrubbing at the cheekbone behind play. Meanwhile, the Hawks are trying to clear it. Bodie. Dispossessed. Pouncing on it is McDonald. Here's a chance for Wardlaw. Everest flew. Wardlaw stayed down. She's going to leave it for Exxon. And Exxon can dribble it through for a minor score. Peppering and peppering for no reward at the moment.
They are, and we spoke about them having quite a tall forward line, and Exxon brings that shortness, and she's been doing a great job on Tilly Lucas Road, but you can't help but think if they did have that sort of smaller presence around the forward line, where they're making the most of those opportunities.
Wales flies, sets herself and takes a strong mark. Gilmore. Down the line to McDonough. Good spoil from behind, great recovery by McDonough. Ashmore on the end of it, bursts away and can bury it. Great tackle, that is a goal-saving tackle.
That was a really clever kick from McDonough there. Now she turned to face onto her left, but she heard Kate Ashmore. I'm not sure if she actually saw Kate Ashmore, but heard Kate Ashmore running boundary side and decided just to put it into the space, know that she's got her speed stuff, and trust that she's there.
Desperate tackle there from Lambert.
Yeah, she's giving her all. She's trying to lead this group.
That would have just about been the game.
It's a great run from Ashmore. She was front and square to that McDonough mark and he just kept going.
Lambert's helped the Saints keep the door open here as we close in on three-quarter time. They can't afford another goal to let one go, the Saints, but Stevenson juggles the mark and she'll have a set shot just before three-quarter time. Louise Stevenson playing her first game of the year. Didn't kick a goal in her 6 games last year for the Hawks, former Giants player. She's a lefty. Off a couple of steps. Let's rip it. Drop short. Going the toe poke, the soccer off the ground. Wasn't effective. Trudgeon. An arm wrestle on the third term. Hawks with a goal through Bodie early. Saints goalless in that third quarter, and they trail by 20 points with one more quarter to go. Tomorrow in the AFLW, it's the Sydney Derby, it's the Giants and the Swans. Looking forward to bringing you all the action on Fox Footy tomorrow afternoon.
right, folks. 3/4 time here. It's not over yet. It's just 20 points. I know the Saints were held goalless in that third term. They did kick 3 points, and I'll tell you what, they were there giving themselves a chance, peppering at the goals. I'll tell you what, it was just the good defence of the Hawks who put on 1 goal, 1 then. Make no mistake, this game can open up for either side. If the Hawks get an early goal or 2, then it could be game over. But if the Saints get the first goal or 2 of the final quarter, it's game on. As I said, 20 points, I think, for these two teams. This is absolutely a possible margin to come back from. So don't worry if you're a Saints supporter, you're still a chance to come back in this game. As I said, both teams playing pretty well. It's just the Hawks finding a little bit more space and their targets going up. They're forward 50 and, of course, having a lot more shots on goal. 5-7-37 to the Saints. 2-5-17. 5 more scoring shots all in at the moment. Let's just have a quick look at the players' stats. As we normally do, folks, there it is, Jamie Lambert. She's having a cracking game. That is for sure. Wolfpack said Jamie Lambert's having a cracking game. Spot on there. 9 kicks, 11 handballs, 7 tackles, kick to behind. Leading the disposal count on the ground there for everyone up until 3/4 time. Tilly Lucas Rod, next best for Hawthorn on 19. 15 kicks, 4 handballs, 3 marks and a tackle. Doing well. Let's roll down the board. Rowett Bishop, how you going? Who do you think will win? Yeah, I think I originally tipped the Hawks because I don't know whether I'd seen too much of the Saints. I know the Hawks played reasonably well. But that being said, I didn't realise the Saints were actually second on the ladder. But they could fall to, I think, about, let's have a look at this, the live ladder, 4th and 5th on the ladder. With the way the percentage is going, the Saints will drop to 5th unless they win this game or they can kick a couple more goals to stay ahead of Hawthorn. So it should be pretty interesting last 4th quarter. So even if the Saints do lose today, which, you know, they'll be wanting to win, of course, they want to win this last quarter and keep that higher position on the ladder. Greta Bodie, 3 goals. Having a good day out there. 3 goals to her off her 10 kicks. Jessie Wardlaw looking reasonably good there for the Saints. Looking pretty dangerous down forward. 3 scoring shots, 2 goals, 1 from her 13 disposals, 10 kicks, 3 handballs, 5 marks, 4 tackles. She's going pretty good. Who else? We've got Amy McDonough, Bertie Hipwell, both single goal scorers for the Hawks. So, as I said, she's a pretty entertaining game here today at RSEA Park in Melbourne. Who's going to win? Well, you know what? It does look like the Hawks at the moment, but that being said, I'm just a little bit not sure because I'm still waiting for the Saints to come back. They're still playing reasonably good football, and I'm sure Del Santo, the coach, will just try and change a few things up in that final quarter and get his Saints over the line. All right, we're not too far away. Not too far away, folks, before the bounce of the ball of the final quarter. Don't forget, coming up in about an hour and a half's time, we have got the big second preliminary final between Geelong and the Brisbane Lions. It's going to be fantastic, fantastic game. It's going to be an exciting one to watch and listen to. So we're going to cover that at about 5 o'clock Melbourne time, and that game gets underway at 5:15. All right, we are back down onto the ground. Let's take you back to the commentators.
20 points here at 3/4 time. Let's get down to Lauren Wood, who'd be with a pretty satisfied coach, Daniel Webster.
Thanks, Kel. Yes, he's got the smile on his face, I would imagine, after a quarter like
like that, you've kept them at bay and kept a pretty handy lead.
Yeah, it's obviously been tricky kind of scoring and the wind's kind of hurting it a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm very happy with that quarter and hopefully can finish the job now.
Throwing Aileen Gilroy into the middle and Greta Bodie's doing great things up forward. Can we expect to see anything else tinkered with in the last quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we like to get flexibility in our side with different positions. I mean, Greta's played a bit up on the wing and going forward at times as well. So it's something we want in our team and they've been really good those two.
Fingers crossed you can keep it going. Get up there to the coach's box. Enjoy this last quarter. Hopefully you can get away with the win.
Will do. Thanks. Cheers.
Just before we get back to the game, guys, just an update on Darcy Guttridge too from St Kilda. She's in the rooms having a head injury assessment, so she'll be out of the game for most of this last quarter. It has been a genius move as well from Daniel Webster to put Tilly Lucas-Rod down back, having one of the best seasons of their career. After that move, talk about more about that in a moment as the Saints staring down the barrel of their first loss for season 9 of this NAB AFLW season. What have they got for us in this last term? Exxon trying to fire up her teammate. Oh, and she's tossed aside by Breed, who has a bit of a rush of blood. Matea Breed and Exxon can set something up here for the Saints. Playing. Music was cranking at three-quarter time. There's a great vibe around here. If the Saints can snare the first, this venue will really come alive.
Now this is what St Kilda have to control, the uncontested possession going into the three-quarter time break. Hawks plus 40 uncontested possession, so they need to manage this part of the game. The contested part of the game, the Saints are only -4. They're winning the clearance count, so this is where the game is being lost currently.
And they flick it around beautifully. Wales trying to get this game right in control. McDonough wheels around on the left, puts it out into space. Here's Gilroy. The two Irish women combined, and they are unstoppable in the brown and gold.
It's a great call, Rubes, all over it, as always. Great little passage of play there from the Hawks, just working the ball up inside, work it back down the line, but to space, because at that stage the ground's been spread, so St Kilda have to number off on their opponents. And if you can get to the ball first, like McDonald in that occasion, leading Trudge into the ball, and then kick it out at the back, because Hawthorn are playing quite high, and they get running, spreading through back to goal quickly, and catch their defenders on the back side of them. Get it back really quickly. You're going to have the space to run into. It's really good play. They're really well drilled. They're buying into the plan, and the Saints have no answers at the moment.
And this is what the live ladder looks like now. It would be the Saints. The Hawks are about to inflict their first loss of the season on the Saints, and the Hawks will jump into the top 4. A team that has never played finals. Hawthorn, this is their 3rd season. They finished 15th in their first year, 16th in their second year. They've been one of the stories of the season so far. Molly McDonald over the head of Wardlaw. Couldn't quite gather it. Richardson to Kemp to Smith. Everest. Wales. Bates. High ball. Ashmore's going to apply the tackle. Kelly gets out of that. Smith again. Smith and Tilly Lucas-Rod across half-back just have improved their footy out of sight. Bodie, who's booted 3, started across the wing. McDonough sliding in.
Great ball movement.
Beautiful ball movement. Still time for more. Again, she looks for a compatriot. Little fumble by Grace Kelly. Swooping on it, Bates. Exxon. T. Smith. Lambert trying to lift. Wardlaw, no one's inside 50. Jessie slows down as if she says, I'm going to just have a ping from here. I'm not sure who the target was there. She's just hoping for a good bounce for Exxon to get involved, but Jenna Richardson, full calm leader down back.
Just have to hold that, Jess. Just hold that, wait for the truth to arrive.
Bodie.
It's a prayer.
And if you're Nat Exxon, you're running into that open goal, you may not be able to collect the footy, but you've got to try and create a stoppage, take Jenna Richardson's body there and keep it in that forward 50.
Fleming slips over, Bates slips a would-be tackler, and Caitlin Ashmore marks uncontested.
Tell you what else they are, Ruth. They're fit. They're rock-hard fit, these Hawks, and they cover the ground really well. That's what I think one of the factors that's coming into play at the moment. The Saints aren't able to go with them. It's never easy when you're trailing and you've just got to find a way to get possession, let alone try and score. Chasing backside a bit, but when their game's in flow again, Hawthorn get possession back, they open the ground up, they use the free player, and they're just leading St Kilda and merry dance.
Only one goal last season. Caitlin Ashmore. This for her first for this season. To continue to inflict more damage on the Saints. With a minor score, margin 27, so the biggest it's been for the afternoon.
And I can speak with experience on that point, half of them making you work so hard. A couple of weeks ago, their forwards, the way they get so high up close to the stoppage and make you really work to defend goal line. It's a really good game plan Dan Webster has set up with the pieces he has in that forward line puzzle.
Saints looking to go end to end. They had a player out, but couldn't quite get it over the top. McDonald, nice spin, pirouettes around West, delivers a bit of a floater. Some tired players out there. Richardson gives it straight back to the opposition.
Now this is where in the first quarter we saw St Kilda running past for the handball receives, trying to put speed on the ball, and you know there's tired legs, but if they're to create something now to try and get these scores on the board, that's where we need to see these defenders really running past, demanding the ball, trying something different, kicking into space where you know you've got Wardlaw one out.
It was Nolda, the late inclusion, who got that kick away. Charlotte Simpson are laid out with sick illness. And a free kick going to Wardlaw.
Just holding the jumper, it looked like.
Against Stevenson. She's kicked their two majors so far.
There's a bit of an ask, I think, from 45 into this little breeze for Jessie. See what sort of run-up she has, any momentum she gets through a run-up here. 3 shots already today. She's been stuttering and staggering on the way through. She's going to give her a best chance for power.
Well, she's got that real nothing to lose attitude. Hasn't quite got the carry.
I'm watching Jessie Hogan.
Yeah.
The stutter.
It's like 30, that's fine.
They've got something in common. They're both called Jessie. Burke beats Kilroy to the ball. Kelly wheels around. And nice mark. Elliott, one of those 3 inclusions at selection this week. Coach Dan Webster swung the axe after their loss to the Crows. 3 players dropped. 3 players coming in, Stratton and Stevenson and Elliott. Vesely tackled by Fleming. West flicks it up to Stevenson. Stratton caught underneath it. There was a free in there, and it is going Hawthorn's way.
McKenzie earlier, a bit of time for this young player too. Great size, terrific athlete with a few years in the gym, maturing physically. She's going to be a fair presence for this footy team for a fair while, McKenzie. I really like her adaptability now. We've seen her forward a few times the last couple of games.
Got a lot of tall timber, the Hawks, don't they?
But they're mobile.
Yeah, absolutely. They can move.
They move.
And they call her Big Mac. And Stratton at the back in the fluorescent yellow boots puts it through. Her first game of the year, her first goal of the year.
And we see Christy Stratton there, and we saw a bit of this last season from Christy. It's the first time we've been able to see it this season, as you said, coming in for her first game. And she's having a little silly there. I'm sure we'll see that, but she just is that ground presence that we spoke about, how important it is to have those small forwards that complement the tall forwards that bring it to ground. We spoke about their tools that they have all over the ground, but it's the likes of that Christy Stratton. Often her game is based off that pressure, the speed, the pressure forward, and creating forward half turnovers. But it's moments like that where she gets reward, just reading the ball off the hands and really clean, quick hand to foot at ground level.
You see back out there doing her thing, yeah, great. She's had some injury challenges through her time, was spat out of the system, went back to the VFLW, got another opportunity with the Hawks, and getting another good look here today. Well done.
So the Hawks learnt their lesson last week against the powerhouse, the Crows, and they've been able to hit back today in most impressive fashion. Getting back has been fantastic. Elliott to Everest. Back to Elliott. Linking up with Bates. They're just playing taunting, playing cat and mouse with these Saints at the moment.
It's even when they're under pressure, they can almost bank that there's always that little 20-metre kick somewhere that just relieves that pressure and allows them to play this game.
So we'll go open side again. They're all set up for it. Saints are really narrow defensively, so they can shift the whole ground here if they want. Yeah, just find the easy free play. It's good. It's really simple footy, really. Expand the ground, find the free, make the opposition defend, move their zone, find a hole, and then go bang.
Daniel Harford and Ruby Schleicher in special comments this afternoon. We're not too far away. Crossing into the MCG, where it'll be Gary Lyon and Jonathan Brown, Nathan Buckley, Jordan Lewis and Jack Revolt, the team, to take you through the men's second preliminary final. The Cats and the Brisbane Lions to do battle at the MCG on Fox Footy.
Who wins, Rubes?
I've got Brizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you?
I think the Cats are good enough. It'll be a ripping game of footy on Fox.
Certainly will. Which team will play the Swans in next week's men's grand final? So much footy to look forward to in the men's grand final week celebrations. There's women's footy galore. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can join us. Half's brain still spinning. He doesn't know what day it is. He's just been attending all these women's games.
It's a bit frenetic. I must admit, I quite like watching it night time on the couch when I'm not working.
Yep. Charge from behind, but playing great mark, taken in front, standing her ground. Elliott, 19-year-old. And now Fleming from 50. Almost, and that'll be a free. Hawks are going to put another one on the board after McDonough is felled. Wendy McDonald's had been in the wars a little bit, carrying a sore wrist. Did she collide with you, Ruby, a couple of weeks ago at Vic Park?
Yeah, poor Anya.
She didn't collide. She got whacked by Schleicher.
Whacked by Schleicher.
I think she copped my knee to the head, actually. But that wasn't what was hurting her. I think I stood on her hand on the way here. Sorry, Anya.
You can see her wrist here is strapped, but that is because of Ruby Schleicher, everyone.
She's been tough as nails ever since, so you're welcome.
Look what you've done to this woman.
Not even a Ruby Schleicher slap across the wrist can stop Anya. And McDonough's got her second. And they're a happy team at Hawthorn this afternoon. Back on the winners list after that loss to the Crows last week.
Would you say good on you? Just a little zinger. Late in the game, Cal, these things pop up. No, great performance. I want a little
hand to the ear.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Schleicher, talking about me injuries.
No, she heard good on you. She liked it. She said more.
Yeah, no, she's been a great get, Anya McDonough, and with last season, just her first season of AFLW in general, we've already spoken about her so much today, but I think the growth for her, the trajectory is only going to be going upwards the more she learns this game, and she's really such an integral part to this Hawks forward line.
A couple of the Saints fans now are slowly streaming out. I know exactly where they're going. Home on the couch to watch the men's preliminary final.
Saints disco. We're over at Saints disco.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that, I'm guessing you do. I don't want to know the stories. 39 points is the margin. Nick D'Alessando's got his work cut out with these Saints, due to play 4 games in 14 days, including 2 travels in there.
So we spoke like before, earlier in the game, Cal, about Hawthorn and what they learned from last week's game against Adelaide. This would be a similar opportunity for the Saints.
Absolutely.
Things have been going pretty nicely up until this point, and they've been given a bit of a lesson today. So they're able to go to school. Obviously, a bit of work to do because the games have been played in a short period of time here for the Saints this next window, but they'll be able to learn a fair bit from this, and I think be better for the loss.
And they will host Fremantle here next Friday, the public holiday in Melbourne, a 4 p.m. start. So footy fans who have been brilliant this afternoon, just providing a wonderful upbeat vibe here at this beautiful suburban Moorabbin ground. If you're looking for something to do with the kids on the public holiday, Saints hosting the Dockers, 2 teams that are probably set to finish in the top 8 or close.
see Jazz Fleming taking them out clean. She doesn't have the distance. And just St Kilda's defenders just switch off slightly, allow
to light up every time she lines up for a goal. Yet to kick one, Jazz.
It won't be far away.
No, she keeps giving them off.
So Cash score assist, they're just as valuable.
Bodie's going for 4 for a day out.
Thank you.
And Greta, absolutely great today.
Yeah, it's great connection. This is one of these roofs from the forwards, and obviously practiced a bit of that. Provided opportunity through the leading lane to just be created defensively. As a coach, it drives me bananas when it happens, Roos, because surely you're trying to shut that out, just get someone in that hole, but they've manipulated the defence so well, the Hawks all day, really. Not surprising to see a little lane pop up late from that kick from Jess Fleming. Well done to Greta Bodie. He's had a big day. Great teamwork to get to that point.
Beautiful off the boot as well. Really good kick, and it just shows the depth of Hawthorn's forward line as well. There's so many threats all around the ground, as we see Jazz Fleming line up there now as well. Their ability to move magnets, as we spoke to Dan Webster about earlier.
Free kick going to Wales.
She impressed me too.
Yeah,
Wales.
she's been good, hasn't she?
Yeah, this is a beauty. She's come on a long way.
Stevens over the top to McDonald. Haven't kicked a goal in this second half, the Saints. Let's get down to Lauren Wood.
Just an update on Darcy Guttridge, guys. She's done for the day, but just as a precaution after that HIA, she's not officially in the concussion protocols as yet, which of course would mean the 12-day sidelining. So the Saints will keep a very close eye on her. If she was to enter it today, she would only miss one game, obviously with the compressed fixturing, but they're going to keep a very close eye on her as the day and next few days play out.
Thanks, Lauren. As I mentioned, they play the Saints back here next Friday afternoon.
Dockers.
We do play the Dockers and the Hawks. Next game is against the Cats.
Cats doing the highway.
Yep, on Thursday night. This Thursday night, it's a 7:15 p.m. start.
Might be down there for that one, Cal.
I think I'm down there as well, Half. I'll see you down there. You're going to give me a lift?
We should move in together. We're spending a lot of time together, you know.
Gross me out.
And the Cats had that massive win earlier today.
Come for dinner, Roops.
They won by 69 points over the Suns. So that's going to be a great contest. McDonough keeps it in play. Little kick up and under. Ashmore, who's had a couple of pings. Oh, and this is Bodie. PB. A career best for Greta Bodie. Her 5th goal. And the Hawks fans are enjoying it watching on.
They've just got players free everywhere. Every time they get possession back of the ball, they've got players running forward into space, but not each other's space, importantly. They've worked this out well, this forward system. And Ashmore just ran in there with no opponent whatsoever. Kicks to the top of the square. Guess who's there? It's just really impressive footing. The Saints cannot cover them at the moment. Cannot get near them in transition.
We spoke about Hawks learning a lesson off the Crows and how Saints are sort of learning a similar lesson, and I think this really prepares the Saints, because when I look at this ball movement, it sort of takes me to the first half of last night's game with North Melbourne and how they want to play that almost uncontested possession game, and they hit the free, they use that free so well, and I think when Saints come up against those top teams, this will hold them in really good stead.
So St Kilda have had 55 less uncontested marks today. 55.
It's a big number.
That's extraordinary. Uncontested possessions, they're minus 73, 76, is it? 86. My apologies.
Still time for more goals to be added. It's been the perfect 10 so far. McDonough, it'll roll over, and it's a good result. So Daniel Webster's team.
Which means everything's really hard. Everything's been really hard for St Kilda. There's been no free possession, no free ball, no easy ball, just to get any level of control in this game whatsoever. Whereas on the flip side, Hawthorn have just had easy ball. It's been unbelievable the way they've manipulated this ground and the defence.
McDonough in the ruck. Bodie's hungry for more. She's kicked 5. She's eyeing 6. Right on the final siren, we're going to take you from Moorabbin to the MCG. Geelong v Brisbane in the men's preliminary final. Settle in for the afternoon, all live and exclusive on Fox. The AFLW game into the men's. Gary Lyons standing by with the crew at the magnificent Melbourne Cricket Ground. The Saints by 6 at quarter time. As they rush to minus score. No, it'll be a boundary throw-in, in fact. And then the Hawks piled on 4 goals to 1 in the second term to take a 16-point lead at quarter time. They led it by 20 at half-time. And they've smacked on 5 unanswered goals in this final quarter. Jacobson. Ashmore just drops it at the last minute. Xenos. It's going to come back in again. Richardson, Wales, high ball. Where's McDonough? And at the back, it's Bodie. Bodie's going to kick 6. Oh, this is superb. She started on the wing.
She did. She did start. It's been a bit of time there through the afternoon as well. This last quarter, she's worked it out, Rube. She's not spending any time on the wing. I'm getting forward, thank you.
No, that's it.
That's where the action is.
This is going to take it to 8 goals for the season. Taylor Smith from Lions leads the way on the goal-kicking table with 9.
Get it back to the centre quickly after she kicks this. She could equal the record.
For a Super 6 for Greta Bodie, the most exciting player on the park this afternoon.
Well, it's pretty handy, isn't it, for her to just pop up. And we spoke about her starting on the wing, and she was involved early up on that wing. You're in the midfield. Maybe there's an element to that as well in the forward line, and maybe not so much for the Hawks because they move it so well into their forwards. But to be around the midfield early, get your hands on the ball, sometimes that can play an element of helping that hand get hot, and Greta Bodie's hand is definitely hot at the moment.
Well, as I said before, like playing in those half-forward, forward-pocket roles, there can be a real desert at times. It's feast or famine, and oftentimes for those roles, it's famine, and you just feel like you're out of the game. So, and this applies to all players in all competitions. Players who play deep forward or pockets and flanks that are out of the game, get them up amongst it for a bit, feel good, and then get back to their position, and who knows what happens.
T. Smith, inside 50, playing, drops a mark. Tilly Lucas Rod, brilliant. Brilliant afternoon. It's a brilliant move to put them down across half-back by Dan Webster. And now Fleming on the burst.
Keep going, Jez. Keep going all the way.
3 bounces, 4 bounces, and gets the kick away. And these young Hawks respond from a football lesson with the most impressive response. The Saints suffer their first defeat of the year. It's the Hawks by a massive 57. Greta Bodie with the Super 6 majors.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Finals Footy.
All right, there we go. Big win for the Hawks. A little bit disappointing there for the Saints. 11-8-74 to 2-5-17. It was the Hawks. 6 goals, 1 in that final term. No score for the Saints. I'd expect St Kilda to bounce back pretty strong next time out, next match. But we had a pretty big goal scoring haul there from a play. Just want to look at the stats just as the game finishes here. Lucy Wales and Tilly Lucas Rod top the table there with 23 disposals. Jamie Lambert 22 there for the Saints. Eliza West, Jenna Richardson 21 there for the Hawks. Jasmine Fleming there with 20. And of course Greta Bodie there with 18. There are your top. All right, let me just roll down the list just in case anyone wants to have a look at their players or they're watching this later. They can pause, see the stats on their favourite players. Don't forget, folks, we're only about an hour away and we'll be going live for the next game, which is the second preliminary final, the big game we've all been waiting for. Second preliminary final between Geelong and Brisbane to see who plays Sydney in the AFL Grand Final next Saturday. Greta Bodie there kicking 6 goals. She had a day out, started on the wing. There we go, 18 disposals, 15 kicks, 3 handballs, 8 marks, 3 tackles, 6 goals, 1 off the record. Ciao, Paul. We'll catch you later, brother. yeah, go and grab something to eat, go and grab some lunch or something, and we'll be back in about 1 hour getting ready. The stands are slowly starting to fill there at the MCG. It's looking pretty nice there. Overcast, a little bit of sun coming through. Let's hope there's no rain, and of course it's going to be fantastic. So there are the goal scorers for the game. Greta Brody was 6, Jessie Wardlaw best for St Kilda with 2. Anne McDonough was the other multiple goal scorer there for Hawthorn with 2. Chrissy Stratton, Bridie Hipwell, Eileen Gilroy were the other single goal scorers in the game for the Hawks. But a pretty good game, I think. I think you'd have to be very, very happy, very, very happy if you're a Hawthorn supporter. The way they played today, they were quite exceptional. See if I can, if this comes up. Hawthorn, no, the ladder hasn't updated just yet, so we can't do that. But Hawthorn will, I think, end up going to 4th, and St Kilda will drop down to 5th. It showed that before, but it's certainly not doing that just at the moment. That's all right. I think that's where it ends up. All right, folks, that's about all we've got for this game, this live stream for this game between the Saints and the Hawks, where it was the Hawks by 57 points. Outstanding effort. Canucks much better than that. All right, folks, just to let you know, in the other game as well, let's just have a quick look at the other game that were being played between Fremantle and Melbourne. And can you believe it? Can you believe it? Fremantle have ended up winning that game 7-5-47 to Melbourne 6-5-41. The only time, Fremantle ended up in front was at the end. And of course, Fremantle in that final quarter came out to kick 4 straight goals and kept Melbourne scoreless. Melbourne were 18 points up there at 3/4 time, but the Fremantle Dockers came home with a sail and end up getting the job done. Well done to them. All right, folks, that's it for me. Don't forget, we will see you back in around about 1 hour's time when we're going to cover the big match, the second preliminary final between the Geelong Cats and the Brisbane Lions. Fremantle, that's it. Fremantle won, Eddie. Can you believe it? They got up in the last minutes, I think. 4 straight goals they kicked in the final quarter. Melbourne kicked nothing. So Fremantle, victory. All right, folks, that's it. I'm out. Thanks, everyone. Ciao for now. Just let me, before we go, we did have the poll who was going to win this game. Of course, we had 23 votes in. 60% went for Saints, 40% went for Hawks. We got that a little bit wrong today. That's all right. We can have another crack at that poll tonight between Geelong and Brisbane. All right, folks, that's me. I'm out of here. We'll catch you in about an hour's time for the big match between Geelong and Brisbane. Ciao for now, folks. We'll see you soon.